Hi, I just wanted to hop on quickly to do a little video. I pulled some cards this morning from a deck that I've had for a long time, the Druid Plant Oracle. It's a beautiful deck, Will Worthington's illustrations. I have a few decks with his illustrations and they are really amazing. You can go into the card images, you can step in meditation and use the images as guidance or to have a little inner journey. They are really amazing. But the words themselves are by Philip and Stephanie Carr-Gomm. Philip Carr-Gomm used to, I'm not sure if he still does, be head of the British Druid Network. All three cards today, I know you can see them the right way up, but they were pulled upside down. So they have a different meaning. And I just wanted to share them. My question was, what can you tell us about the coronavirus? Everybody's in panic, lockdown. Everybody seems to be forgetting to step away from the fear, just stay in the now, stay within our own essence, try and feel love, because if you are concentrating on love within your own essence, and that vibrates outwards and it helps everybody. And everybody that I've listened to or spoken with who has their own guides that are coming through is all on the same path with this. This is part of the higher ascension of the planet in general, and it is a big deal, as everything that's been happening recently has been a big deal. We've been letting go of things, we've been integrating fears of our own. This is like a mass integration of that fear. But these cards, I just thought, really help to get to that root point of this virus. And I'm going to actually read you from the books with each one and then discuss, because they are because I feel, or I'm being shown, that everybody will get something slightly different from the words, and I think it's going to be important. So the first card I drew was wheat in reverse. I'll let you see it upright. So the reverse meaning for wheat is the change in outlook and behaviour from being part of a hunter-gatherer society to living in a settled agricultural community is one that our ancestors would have experienced. And these two ways of living may still compete for our affections even today. And I think they do. I know there's a part of me that would love to, there's that aspect of me that really would love to go back to that hunter-gatherer society, which, although very tough, we can romanticize it, and I'm sure I have romanticized it, but there is an essence of it where it's about living, not just living to survive, because we've found that hunter-gatherer societies did more than that. They had a rich culture of their own, a rich spirituality, and a very closely bonded community. And part of what's been happening recently, in the last, say, 50 years particularly, is that bond, that community bond and family bond even. I mean, I live miles from most of my family. And a lot of people do. We've had to move around for work, and it's become a very disjointed world community that we live in many cases. Whereas in the hunter-gatherer societies, it was a very bonded community. And not that there weren't problems with that, but I think we need to dwell on the good things that came from that right now, that are perhaps missing from what we have. So this card reverse may indicate that you are having trouble settling in one place. You may long to go travelling or to have a more flexible lifestyle. Or you could be experiencing quite the opposite feeling. You may have been moving often in recent times, and now you feel that you need to settle and put down roots. And I'm of the second of those. I've had to move a lot in the last 11 years. I know why from a spiritual perspective. I've needed to go to certain places to bring things up for me that I needed to reintegrate, but also to for my light to activate parts of the land. But this isolation, this self-isolation, this stopping, this not being able to move around is going to be very, for some people, is going to be hard to deal with. You know, we have a very flexible lifestyle. We can hop on planes and trains and buses and cars and just go wherever we like. And we can still hop in a car if we have a car and go places. Even if you're self-isolating, you can go into nature. And we really need to do this. More people need to be going into nature. And that is one of the real pluses of this coronavirus and the lockdowns. You can still get in your car and go out into the wilderness and just enjoy it. You have that ability. You can still be flexible, but our flexibility needs to be in different ways. And for those of us who have felt the need to really be in one place, perhaps jobs of bring, you have to work away a lot, or it's just a fraught environment that you are in, where all you want to do is think, oh, I just want to be at home. Well, this is your opportunity. You can work from home, or most people can work from home in some way. Or if you need to self-isolate, you're getting that wish granted. You can be at home. Okay, this card is really showing a lot of the positives that are coming out of this virus. Alternatively, perhaps you are torn between the nomadic life with all the excitement that movement and travelling can bring and the settled rooted life which offers comfort and familiarity. It may help to remember that both the hunter-gatherer and the settled farmer live within us as ancestral archetypes, and that we can honour both at different times of our lives. So one of the things I think that these lockdowns and these self-isolations are going to really bring home to us are those ancestral archetypes, which ones we are most comfortable with. If we're not comfortable with the self-isolation, with the lockdowns that are happening, then we need to look at why. What in us isn't comfortable with that? What is coming up for us with that? Because that's a chance to integrate that archetype, bring it back in, bring it back into the oneness that is you. And if you're not comfortable with the moving around a lot, and you want a more settled lifestyle, and you are in that environment and you're feeling really good about that, then draw on that feeling of goodness, take that in, really experience it. Don't just think, oh, it feels great to be at home. Really be in the essence of that. Take some time to really feel it on every level and integrate that as well. We don't just integrate our fears, we integrate the things we love in our life, because they give us the energy and the vitality to be able to live our lives as we would like them to be. And the more that you are in that feeling of what you want and what feels good for you, the more you're magnetizing that feeling in. So you're magnetizing those energies back into you, so the universe knows that that's what you want more of. Okay, so I thought that card was really amazing. And then the second card I drew, again in reverse, so it's that way up, but that's for you to see, is the poppy. So what does poppy say for us? Any quality in excess can have a negative effect. Selecting this card reversed may mean that you risk being seduced by the apparent benefits of being anaesthetized to the difficulties of life. And, the Western culture does that to us. It takes away an awful lot of our responsibility to ourselves. Yes, it brings a lot of responsibility in looking after others and in our work environments, but that responsibility of looking after ourselves is often taken away. Religion takes it away spiritually. It doesn't, if you're told that you can go to confession and your sins are taken away, then are you really spending the time dwelling on what you've done, integrating the fears, seeing what you've learned from that, getting the positive benefits and the aha moments from that? You know, I think it's not the religion's fault particularly, it's just that it seems like a quick fix, because in all religions you are asked to do those things, those spiritual things of looking at what you've done, but people want a quick fix these days because life is so hectic and life is so busy and you don't have time. So religion can take away your responsibility for your spirituality. It doesn't have to, but it can. Doctors, the medical profession, can take away your responsibilities for your own health. It's, again, a quick fix. If you're not feeling well, go to the doctors, you get something for it. That's getting increasingly harder in the UK because the health service is under a lot of stress, and even getting a doctor's appointment is really difficult. These are good things, though, because they're teaching us, they're showing us that we can look after ourselves and prevent most of the things that occur. We can exercise, we can eat well, we can choose to be aware of how our work is affecting us, and to say, I need a bit of mindfulness time now, I need a bit of now time, I need to connect, I need to meditate, I'm not sleeping well, so what can I do about it? I can't take tablets. If you're taking tablets, again, you're taking away your responsibility of looking after you. You're taking away the self-love, the self-care that you need. You know, if more people started saying to work, I'm not having emails when I've left the office, I'm not having phone calls, I'm not working weekends, they're my downtimes. You will get more from me as a person if you give me the time I need in between to rejuvenate and to revitalise and to look after me. If more people did that, then it would happen, because it would have to happen. If you follow out of fear what everybody else is doing because you think you're going to lose your job, then you will lose your job if you don't do it, because that's what you're attracting in, that vibration. If you are strong inside and you believe that self-love will actually allow you to give more to your job and allow you to enjoy something. It might be you're in a job that you used to enjoy, and it's just like now it's just such a stress and a strain. And it's a stress and a strain because it's just because you're not looking after you. It's time to say no and to put up some boundaries and to look after you. We have to stop anaesthetising ourselves. We have to stop thinking, instead of meditation, I'm just going to turn on the telly at night, I'm just going to go on my phone, tablet. You know, we need to experience what's going on, but we also need to experience ourselves more. There is a reason why we have the psychological defence of denial, and we all need to protect ourselves at certain times from the harshness and pain of being in the world. And those of us who are sensitive know that, and we tend to take action around that. But in the end, we need to be able to find a source of comfort, well-being and protection that is rooted in our essence or our spirituality rather than in an external agent. And this virus, if there's one thing that I hope, beyond all hope, it will bring to people, is that being rooted in your own essence, in your own spirituality, not being rooted in the fear that's being generated around you, the mass media, you know, in your face, in your face, in your face, coronavirus, coronavirus, coronavirus. If you go inwards, there's no coronavirus. There is a really safe, comforting space where you are at one with everything while being separate from everything. That's the paradox, the duality. And you are at peace and you are loved. because you can feel the love coming through. I have this thing where I imagine going inwards and all the guides, angels, all my family, everybody that loves me, that is helping me, my massive team that are helping me to be here doing this role on the planet. I imagine them being at the back here. They've got my back, you know. So when I go inwards, I go back into their arms. They're there to support me, and they're there to support you too. You just have to start going inwards, meditate, be mindful, be in the now. Chronic pain or certain other disturbances may need to be treated with medication. Okay, so if you get the coronavirus, you may have things where medication will help. But there is a distinction between the valid use of substances for medical reasons and addictive self-medication or sedation, which again goes back to avoidance of what's happening. So we can't avoid what's happening. It's around us. It's in everybody's lives, you know. But we can be aware of what we allow into our own essence. Okay, so it's like we can decide whether to abstain from the fear, abstain from the drink. Let's use drink as an example, alcohol as an example. We can choose to abstain from that, or we can choose to sedate ourselves by joining in with that fear. And there is a sort of sedation in that, because it's like you're becoming part of a bigger whole by joining in that fear and constantly being with what's going on and talking to everybody about what's going on. You are, in a way, sedating yourself to the reality, and the reality is you're being asked to go within. The more of us that go within, the more of us that spend time in the now, the more of us that meditate, and the more of us are helping to bring this planet out of the 3D vibration more and more into the 5th dimensional vibration, which is more of love than fear. To try and be in your love, not fear. And if you are talking to people like I'm doing now about the coronavirus, be sure that within you, you are feeling calm and at peace. You're feeling loved. You're not escalating the fears. So, the last card I pulled was this one, Mistletoe. I will take a picture of these cards as well so you can see them, and I'll take a picture of them the right way up. And then if you want to go into any of these cards as a little guided journey, then you know that's always a really good thing to do. So mistletoe in reverse. Sometimes we need to learn to walk in the dark, and that's what we're doing. We're learning to integrate our fears. We were learning to do it before this virus struck. It's been going on as a gradual progression from the beginning of the year, and it's been getting more and more intense until now it's this mass intensity on a planetary scale. However much we seek guidance and advice, it eludes us, as if the universe is telling us that we must stand on our own 2 feet and make our choices without any help. And, you know, even the health expert, nobody really knows much about this virus. It's a flu virus. There's a lot of coronaviruses. This one, COVID-19, is just a strain. We're calling it the coronavirus, but that coronavirus actually covers an awful lot of flu and cold viruses. This particular strain is one we don't know about. The universe isn't giving us the answers. So we have to go within. We have to look after our own bodies. We have to do what's right for us, feel about what's right for you. I'm taking lots of vitamin C, elderberry syrup. I'm eating well. I'm making sure that my family has the foods available for them to choose to eat well. I'm not going to force it. I never force anybody to do these things that I feel are right for me, but I provide them with the ability to do that if they so choose, and the knowledge that I have if they ask. So while this can feel lonely and painful, it forces us to draw on our inner qualities and instincts, and in the end, this can serve our deeper purpose. In this way, lack of guidance becomes a meaningful part of our soul journey. We're all being asked to go within. And through that, we're also being asked to look at what needs to change in our lives. The Western world is a very rich world. We have things that we don't even think about in our lives, like running water, that there are parts of the world that don't have that. You know, we are very lucky. Even if we're poor in the Western world, we are poor in a way that is very different to being poor in other places in the world. So we can use this coronavirus to our advantage. We can use it to look at what needs to be changed in the outer world. And to change the outer world, it has to begin inside. And the more people that start looking at the outer world and thinking, what do I feel needs changing here? What needs changing in my own life? Because it's affecting me. You know, I've become aware, say, that I'm working too hard and that has lowered my immune system, so I'm more likely to get a virus. So do something about it. If you're working too hard and there's a lot of stress, mental and emotional stress, that is going to lower your immune system. Do something about it. And begin by taking this time where you might not be in the office, you might be working from home, taking this time to have your rest breaks when you need them. Take 10 minutes to have a few, just to meditate. 10 minutes is really beneficial. Take 10 minutes to look at one of these cards. Step into it. Have a break. Look at that lovely field of lovely summer's day. Can you smell that? Yeah, poppies. What's in here? What's in that mound there? Go visit it. Pick up the sickle. Get yourself some mistletoe. Go listen to the thrush. There's so much you can do in 10 minutes. Give yourself those 10-minute breaks. Nurture you. This is our opportunity to change the things that need changing in our mass systems. And it happens by starting here with each individual. And as each individual does their own work, everything starts to escalate outwards. So I just wanted to share those cards with you today. I thought they were really wise, and plants are so wise. The earth is so wise. Please feel free to share with other people if you want this video. I will put these on my Facebook page. If you're watching on YouTube, if you look me up, facebook.com Indigo Readings, and then you can use these cards as you will. Okay, hope that helps. Love you all. Thank you. Bye.